This is James London. I'm here with. Hey, today, not having a conversation today, but I just wanted to leave you with an encouraging word, regardless. The word is going to come from First John chapter 1 and verse 7. And this is what it says. It simply says, "But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus, his son, cleanses us from all sin." To me, this is a really cool verse because what it's saying is that if we journey with Jesus, if we continue to walk with him, if we continue our path with him, then we start to take on his characteristics and we start to take on his attributes. As he is in the light, we also walk in the light. There's a story I came across by of the minister Charles Finney. And during a particular time of an evangelistic crusade, he came across this man, and this man invited him to come back to his place with him. And now it was getting a bit dark, and Finney's friends told him not to do it. But off he went with this man. And as they started to walk down a dark alley, this man turned towards him, pulled out a gun, and said, "This revolver has killed 4 people. Is there any hope for a man like me?" Now, if that had happened to me, there's probably a few things I would say, but Charles Finney, what his response was simply this: the blood of Jesus Christ cleanses us from all sin. And this man, he started to reel off all the things he'd done, all the substances he had abused, the drugs, the alcohol. Is there any hope for a man like me? He asks again. And once again, Pastor Finney says the blood of Jesus Christ cleanses us from all sin. He goes on and says, "I've cheated on my wife. I've been a bad husband. I've been a bad provider for my family. Is there any hope for a man like me?" And once again, you might guess it, Charles Finney just says, the blood of Jesus Christ cleanses us from all sin. And lastly, he said, "Listen, I've cheated men. I've ruined them. I've had them leave my establishment and go off and kill themselves. Is there any hope for a man like me?" Pastor Finney just grabbed him and just held him close and said, "Listen, it's a bad story you're giving me. You're giving me some hard stuff here. But God says the blood of Jesus Christ can cleanse you of every kind of sin." Now, Pastor Finney, he was using that in an evangelistic context about how there's nothing out there in the world that can separate us from God's love. But for those of us who are already followers of God, what does it mean for us? Well, you know what? Because the text, in the context of this text, is actually addressing Christians, it is something we have to consider. And the idea is this: is that even as followers of God, you and I still need to be encouraged to follow in his footsteps. It can be very easy for us to start walking, and then all of a sudden, we're not walking in the light, we're walking next to the light, or we're walking in the shadow that's being cast by the light, but we're not walking in the light of the Son of God. And that's where we need to be, because in the light, we have fellowship. In the light, the blood of Jesus Christ is able to be applied to us and to cleanse us from the things that can separate us from God. It's a fallacy to think that followers of God got it all together. We all have issues. I got issues. And I need the light just as much as some man in a dark alley talking to a preacher with a loaded gun in his hand. I need the light because in the light, I find that fellowship. And in the light, I find that place of safety. And in the light, I find my salvation. So just want to encourage you. Just a word. It's short, it's sweet. But I want to encourage you to walk in the light just as God is in the light. Walk so that your life reflects the life of Christ. May God bless you and keep you until next time with just a word.